Oh, YouTube. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. All right. So that works. Oh, I gotta change my banners. Dang it. I'm right here. Oh. Dang it. This is how the magics happen. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I'm right here. There we go. Huzzah! This is how the magic happens. This is how it works. Ta-da! All right, time to share this. Oh, I should share this to my blue sky. I just realized that. I'm still getting used to this app, so, you know. So much typing. Whew, okay. Alright, I think that is everyone that I sent it to. Alright. This is Who Would Win podcast number 5. Master Chief from Halo versus Armsmaster and Defiant from the Worm and Ward web serials from the Parahumans universe. Oh boy. I'm already expecting going to be a lot of issues with this one. So this one has been one that I've been thinking about a lot. Mostly, like, just thinking of, like, who would be a good matchup for Master Chief. It's kind of been like a toss-up between what I want to do with him. Because, it's kind of predictable just to put him against, like, other power armor users. But on the other hand, like Armsmaster and Defiant over here are both very, like, infamous in the fandom, so why not, right? Why not? Let's see here. I wonder who I should introduce first, because we all kind of know what Halo is, or we all know who Halo is. He's real tough. He isn't afraid of anything. No, okay. So this one is actually gonna be pretty in depth because there's a lot of information on Master Chief. So there's a big amount of stuff I gotta get to. Let me see if I can pull it up right over here. Sorry, my setup is just my car, so there's not going to be much professionalism to be found here. Oh, I almost forgot. I forgot to share it. Embarrassing. Forgot to share it to someone. I've done 5 of these so far, and you'd think I'd get better at them, but no. No, I somehow forget the most basic stuff. New stream. Number 6. Number 5, I mean, bleh. I can't even count. New stream. Number 5. Yeah, normally I don't do streams back to back, but since the last one was super short and I haven't done any videos or streams lately, I decided to just, give y'all a little treat. Alright. Okay. So, like I said before, this Who Would Win is number 5, and it's based on Master Chief versus Armsmaster, right up top, and Defiant right over here. So, let's get into Master Chief real quick, because I think we all know the basics, that he's a super soldier in power armor from the Halo universe, the various Halo games and spin-off games. Spin-off continuities. Speaking of, I won't use the TV show because the TV show sucked. I don't think anyone cares about the TV show. I won't use the animated one either, just because I've heard some questionable stuff about its canonicity, about whether or not it actually is faithful to the video game. So I'll just not do that. I'll just pull it up from a lot of his stuff from his wiki and respect thread, respectfully. Armsmaster and Defiant will be used from, of course, the books, some various word of author from Wildbow himself that he's mentioned before, and that's basically it. There's not much other media besides those 2 books about them, and they're mostly like actual in canon stuff. So there's not many contradictions to worry about, if any at all. So alright, so where am I starting here? Probably best to get it done with Master Chief. So let me start with Master Chief. Let me pull up his stuff real quick. Alright, so the Spartan program included things even before the power armor, at like 14 years old. 14 years old. They included kids having their bones laced with some kind of powerful material that would give them like unbreakable bones, basically. I don't think we're giving much information on what that is. Yeah, it's carbide ceramic ossification, advanced material grafted onto their bones. Yikes. Oof. But yeah, their muscle tissue density was increased, lactose recovery time decreased. Hormones to boost skeletal and muscle growth, increased eyesight, and had their nerves altered to drastically increase reaction time. That's straight from the respect thread, respectfully. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so at the age of 14, Spartans could sprint at like 34 miles per hour and reaction time of 20 milliseconds. But it varies depending on the situation. So like in a combat situation, it's probably going to be higher. They can lift 3 times their body weight and have night vision, which is impressive. And this is all without power armor. This is just them like training as kids, like, getting used to the medications and alterations and gene splicing and yada 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 yada. Which is actually pretty like scary to think about, like 3 times their weight. Oof. Average kid's like what, 150? That's pretty damn scary. So Master Chief wears the Mark IV Mjolnir armor. This is given to the Spartan 2s and John, of course. It doubles the wearer's strength and increases reaction times by a factor of 5. That's crazy. So, basically, assuming that they could lift 3 times their body weight, so like, let's say, let's go a very low estimate and say, like, 100 pounds. Let's say they weighed 100 pounds, which is very light, but we're just assuming right here, like, low end. So, they could already lift 300 pounds. Doubles that means 600 pounds. So let's say you medium like 150. They weigh 150 times 3, 450. That's 900 pounds already. That's almost half a ton. And doubles reaction speeds by 5. That's pretty crazy. Like, I can't even get into that. Like, the world can be like in slow motion for them when they have to perceive stuff. Yeah, 5 milliseconds. No. Yeah, and by the way, their power armor is so strong that it's already like bad enough that it will tear apart normal humans trying to use it. The suit can operate in a vacuum by recycling air for 90 minutes and shield against radiation and EMPs. Although I think we see that it works a little bit weirdly with EMPs because there's an EMP function with some plasma weapons and such. But that we'll get into that later. Let's see right here. Yeah, armor possesses motion sensors and thermal imaging. Yep. Sorry, I got a text with someone real quick. Right. So the armor is almost immediately given additional prototype upgrades like thrusters, surveillance drones, wrist blades, and active camouflage, etc. The active camo allows Spartans to walk right in the middle of a group of soldiers without them noticing. Sorry if this is a bit like boring, but I'm just going over it real quick because I think there's a lot of things that people don't know about Master Chief and what he can do. Because so it turns out all those waypoint markers and stuff that you see in the games, yeah, that's actually canon thing that Spartans can do. They can target on their HUDs with a thought and stuff like that. This one's kind of funny. It says that John can move his limbs with a thought to overwhelm attackers. Yeah. That's how limbs work. I know that's not what they meant, but it's still funny how they phrased it like that. The suit does seem to have like an operation system where it knows what John's going to do before he does it, which is actually pretty sick. That's how he can control thrusters and stuff with just his thoughts. Onboard computer can predict where artillery shots would land during artillery barrage, guide him to safer locations. Spartan share targeting data. Yada yada, nothing more. Yeah, probable landing zones for enemy drop shit. It's all basically basic enemy prediction stuff. Ooh, this one's cool. Mjolnir armor can predict the optimal time to dodge plasma cannon fire from Banshees. That's pretty sick. That's pretty good in a fight there. He also has the Mark V. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So this is where it has rechargeable energy shields and when he gets Cortana. Okay. They can hear a whisper from 100 meters away, so 300 feet. Energy shields begin regenerating 5 seconds after their last being hit and take 4 seconds to fully recharge from a total drain. Okay, but that's gameplay, so I don't know if that's applicable here. Oh, Cortana. Jesus Christ, there's so much. Oh, and there's the Mark VI. Oh my gosh. The Mark VI increases the wearer's strength by a factor of 5. What the hell? So, assuming he could lift 900 pounds in the... Okay. We're restarting this. So. So, assuming that they can lift 3 times their weight, and they weigh 150 pounds. Being generous lowball, they could already lift 450. 5 times... Oh my god. That's over a ton. That's 2,250, I believe. Yeah. That's over a ton right there. Oof. Not looking good already for Armsmaster. Hang on. I can't be down like that. We gotta have faith. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, they got the biofoam healing that stabilizes most wounds. Let me see here. Oh, yes. Grievous headshot from his... Oh, whew. A Spartan suffering from a gruesome headshot has his wound filled with biofoam and is back in combat within a relatively short time. Oh, gosh. Shields are much faster and charge faster. Good. Mjolnir Gen 2. Alright, I think... Alright. So I think we'll stick with the Mjolnir Gen 2, since that's the most up-to-date armor for him. So now every suit comes with built-in thrusters. The armor has a combat simulator system, 360-degree vision into the EM spectrum. All right, magnet boots. All right, allows him to walk on walls and stuff. It has some self-repair systems in case the shielding and suit is ever pierced. That's pretty good. Nice. That's pretty sick. So, Master Chief's kind of fucking broken. Like, even in the context of his universe, like, even in the context of Parahumans universe, that's a pretty solid, damn good power armor and, like, gene splicing effect. Yeah, he's a fucking beast. Holy shit. Like, he's defeated people, like, multiple groups of people, other Spartans. Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm just going, oh my gosh, this entire stream. Hang on. Let me get this in order real quick. So, yeah, he's basically in the level of, like, shattering concrete, easily lifting probably more than a ton. Maybe even on the edge of 2 tons. Yeah, he's strong. I'm trying to find any good speed stuff. Because he's durable as hell. Like most gunshot wounds aren't going to bother him. Most bullets aren't going to bother him. I want to know how fast he is. Like, he has good, like, enhanced perception stuff. Oh, that's interesting. We don't really talk about how fast he can run in the armor. Oh, okay, here we go. He sprints 66 miles per hour across half a kilometer. That's this though he tears apart his Achilles tendon. Okay, so that's a hard limit right there. 60 miles. But he can sprint from 45 miles to 66 miles per hour. Okay. That's a pretty damn good speed feat. Yeah, and he consistently does 45 miles per hour. Alright. Jumps 25 plus meters. Oh, that's fucking sick. Alright. So that's a solid framework. Alright, so to round it all up, Master Chief is a fucking beast. Yeah, he's the kind of guy who would just come, like, he's got layers of durability. He's got the energy shield, which should protect him from bullets, energy, blasts, high impact attacks. Probably played a part in how he survived that giant fall in the Halo 3. Then you got the actual armor, which is similarly broken. Like, it's some kind of I don't know what the material is, some kind of titanium mix or some kind of alloy, but it actually has some repair functions in the most recent update for it, which allows it to not only create biofoam to help heal the wearer if it damaged, but also self-repair itself to an extent, which is pretty crazy. And it has the Spartan himself, John, who is a fucking machine. His bones are literally unbreakable, apparently. His body's his muscles are probably hyper dense. Like, even if I don't even know if you could shoot him like point blank in the chest and it would kill him. Like, I feel like he would survive it somehow. Like, his bones would be just so dense that the ribcage would bounce the bullet off. Alright, here we go. Ooh, sorry. Problem with using this in my car is that it causes me problems. Alright. So a lot of the big thing with John right now is that he's literally layered in durability. His strength is pretty insane. Like, just breaking concrete is incredible already. Like, that kind of strength, like I can easily imagine him like denting solid metal doors and such like that. But just being able to lift what was it, over 2 tons, like almost 2.5 tons, maybe 2.2 tons. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but like, that's the level that if he's punching something, like, it's gonna break before he does. He could probably eventually punch out a concrete pillar, even if the rebar wouldn't necessarily give. Speed is actually kind of low for what I expected. I mean, I gotta admit, like, that's around, like, he's faster than Captain America, that's for sure. Like, Captain America tops out like 30 to 40 miles per hour. So 45 to 66 is pretty damn good, but it's a lot slower than I expected. Then again, he does have thrusters. I didn't see any feats of him using it to boost his running speed, but I assume that's possible. He does mostly use it for flight, though. And he does have a lot of the equipment and stuff, like holograms, camouflage, probably a bunch of other stuff. Hang on, let me see. Let me double check. Does he have the holograms? I want to say he does. Weapons, blah, blah, blah. Oh my god, there's so many shields he can use. Yeah. He has bubble shield, hard light shields, armor lock. That's not really a shield, but I get what it's going for. No, he doesn't use the jetpack to fly. I mean, he does use the jetpack to fly. He doesn't use it to boost his speed. Yeah, so it looks like he does have access to the holograms. It doesn't say there's a limit to what equipment they can use, so I'm assuming he has all of that, or at least some iterations of it. This is going to be pretty tough, I gotta say. Let me put this guy right there. Yeah, I think he's actually pretty cracked out, because he's already, and this is not getting into his weapons. Like, his standard loadouts, I think, is the assault rifle, frag grenades. I don't think plasma grenades are as typical loadout. I think that's only if he like seals him off to Covenant. But even then, like, wow, that's a hello, hello, people. I see you there. Yeah, this is pretty. Like he's practically like loaded out perfectly for this kind of fight. I think this is gonna be a good one because that's a level of durability and strength that's gonna be hard to beat in this match. His equipment's alright. Like the hologram is probably the coolest and probably the most useful here. He has a bunch of shields and stuff, but the shields are, I mean, they do stack really well with his durability and stuff as equipment. But also, it seems temporary and has a timer. So that's kind of be an issue there. That's Cortana. I know Cortana's going to be a big discussion here, so I'm just going to do a quick double check to make sure that he doesn't need to like plug her into places to hack, because I don't think that he's going to get that option here. But I'm going to double check for everyone just in case. Well, that was unhelpful. It does not tell me if Cortana can just hack things at a glance or if she needs to be plugged in. So that's not helpful at all. We're going to have to find a way to work around that. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll do a round without Cortana. You know what? Because I don't think it's fair to have Armsmaster have Dragon in there either. I think it should just be mano a mano. You know what? Loners in power armor versus each other. Alright, so that's a broad view of it's real. I mean, I suggest everyone check out the respect thread yourselves. It's a lot. I skimmed over a lot of it. I didn't even cover the weapons that he could get. But he just has a standard assault rifle. I will state, though, that if you're assuming things from the game, they are not accurate for the most part. Like, there's a part, like, you know how your shields go down for a bit, like, real quick just from assault rifle fire in the games or pistol fire? That's not how it works in the actual books and stuff. Like, this is parts where he's taking, like, autocannon fire from, like, 30mm guns, and it's very slowly going down. Or I think it takes, like, multiple frag grenade explosions for it to go down enough for it to pop. So don't go in there expecting him to be, like, video game weak. He's pretty damn, like, everything you see in the video games exaggerate it. He does have limits, though. He's not invulnerable, obviously. We see that in games and in books and in the other parts of the story. He does have a pretty good for something that says like For armor that claims to be EMP resistant or EMP proof, there's not a lot of feats of using EMPs at all, which kind of sucks because a big part of that is Armsmaster's tech, so we won't exactly know. But we'll see. We'll play this by ear real quick. Hang on, let me double check to make sure everyone's okay. I know Sylvan's not in chat, but the answer is MC because his plot armor is unreachable. That's that's not wrong. That's probably not wrong. But you know what? This is investigative. We're gonna go through this together and figure it out. All right. So I think that's a broad view of Master Chief. I can sum it up real quick though. So strength, he can at least lift nearly half a ton. He's fast enough that he can match some speeding cars at 66 miles per hour, but that will actually injure him. He can strike hard enough to break concrete and probably bend rebar. Let's see. His armor's he's incredibly, stupidly durable. Besides having bubble shields and hard light shields. Oh, Sylvan. It was meant to be unbreachable, but unbreachable works. You know what? It does work. But yes, his durability is absolutely stacked. Ignoring even the bubble armor and bubble equipment and hard light armor. Or, I want to say bubble armor. Bubble shielding. Like, even just ignoring that, his hard light, his energy shields are, like, insane. That it takes, like, 30 millimeter auto cannon fire for it to drop down noticeably. Or that even if past that, his armor's just super strong enough that it can tank highly penetrative rounds and still keep going. And even if that gets past that, you still have to get past the hyperdense muscle, bone, and enhanced healing factor of a Spartan beneath that. So, not exactly an easy target to take out. And he's got his thrusters, his equipment, his holograms, his bubble shielding. I'm going over and over again, but I just got to reiterate that Master Chief here is loaded out. He's a exemplar super soldier in science fiction. Like, this is some crazy feats, crazy equipment. He's not even the strongest character in his universe, but he's damn good for this fight. Now, Armsmaster and Defiant are going to be a lot simpler, relatively speaking. 1 second. Alright, yeah. So, who is Armsmaster? Armsmaster is a superhero in the city of Brockton Bay. He's actually a super genius in the field of miniaturization and mini-tech. So basically what that means is that he can make anything that's super small, compact, and efficient. For an example, he has his power armor, yes, but his prized possession is his halberd, which is a polearm weapon with several functions, and I am not exaggerating when I say that thing is broken as hell. So let's go over it step by step real quick. For his power armor, we actually don't get many feats of him in his power armor, respectively. However, that does not to say there are no feats. For example, Armsmaster is strong enough to, when he's encased in a giant metal robot arm that's strong enough to rip off those car barriers, those concrete and steel car barriers that are painted yellow? A mecha robot ripped that out of the ground. And when Armsmaster was held in those same hands, he was able to fight his way out of it. Like, pure strength fight his way out of it. That's pretty insane. He's strong enough that even when he was body slammed several times in the car and like his power armor was ruined and the car was absolutely demolished, the man beneath it was still alive. Like, he was unconscious and bleeding, but he was still alive from it. He can leap much higher than a human can. He can reach up to a 30-foot kaiju's knee and backflip. Like, his acrobatics are literally insane. Like, he does in that combat armor, he's practically a ninja. He's doing backflips, he's doing front flips, side flips. He's just super agile in general. Like, even he was once fighting like rhinoceros-sized super mutant dogs, and these things are like flexible as cats, and they're running up buildings and stuff, and they could not touch him at all. Like, he was doing flips over them, he was dodging and bobbing and weaving. They couldn't do anything to him. He was styling all over them. What else is there? We don't actually know how fast he is in the power armors exactly. We can scale him a bit to Dragon's Teeth, which is power armor soldiers that he made. And those guys are said to be pretty damn fast, but they aren't given like speed feats either. Unfortunately. But we'll save those guys for later, because they'll scale more to Defiant. They're just stated to be like superhumanly fast and like faster than any human could possibly move. But Armsmaster has in his power armor also has his helmet, which allows him to communicate with his onboard battle computer. His battle computer allows him to create simulated constructs and prediction software he can use in a fight. It works best when he has images of an opponent to fight. So like, if he sees you fighting on camera, he can record it, and his software program will like go through hundreds of iterations of that opponent for the most accurate guess. But that doesn't mean that he's useless without it, because when he was fighting those mutant dogs, for example, and like several of them at a time, he didn't have any data on how they fought or how they worked with their owner, Bitch, or Hellhound if you want to be PC. Worm reference. He didn't have any data on that, and he still absolutely kicked their asses. But okay. I know it's a little short, but that's basically all we have on his armor specifically. Because he's not really much of a tank fighter. He mostly prefers to fight with agility and skill. But that doesn't mean he's weak. Because like I said, strong enough to fight out of a hand that ripped open a concrete pillar for parking. That's insane. Like, I wish I had to pull up an image of those things, but those things are no joke. They will destroy cars that ram into them. 1 second here. There we go. Yeah, so no joke, strong. But that's not the most important part. The most important part is his halberd, or birds, plural. So his first one that we see has several functions. Normally, as just a halberd, like a bladed weapon, it can score through armor, like cut through steel. It's very strong, like supernatural alloy. Like, that's good enough, alright? However, it also has a grappling hook function, which allows him to rapidly like leap across buildings. Like, people mistake him for flying from how fast it reels him in, but it's just like grappling hook. It's just a really damn good grappling hook that can handle the weight of his armor, or be used as a really like non-lethal weapon, like can knock out people. I think he used it to bruise a supervillain by the name of Tattletale's ribs. What else? So it also has a flail function. Now the flail function's interesting because we aren't exactly sure how it operates. What we do know, though, is that whenever it hit those 2-ton rhino mutant dogs things, whenever he hit them with those, whenever he hit those mutants with his flail, it automatically took them out of the fight. Like, these things are huge, they're tough, they're durable, like, they're low-key bullet resistant. They can take punches from guys that can, like, punch through concrete. They took lasers that can punch through walls. But when they got hit by this flail, they were sent, like, knocked down, taken out of the fight, like seriously dazed from the hits. I think that one of them was even, like, concussed from it. I can't exactly remember. I just didn't remember that he, like, defeated them and walked away without an issue. And we don't know exactly how it works. Like, people are unsure if it was, like, his super strength hitting him with that, or if it has, like, some kind of energy impact. All we know is that if you get hit with that, it's night-night. or death forever. Because it handled those mutants so damn well. We never see it again, unfortunately, but he just pulled it out in one fight and just showed that, holy shit, this guy is going to fucking ruin your life. It also has an EMP function, which allows it to turn off pretty much every bit of technology that we see. You can also use it to kill bugs, but that was more like a happy accident because he was using it as a conductor with the metal in the ground. But that's because that's another aspect of his genius. Like, he can just look at something and be like, "Oh, I can use this. I can milk you." I'm just kidding. I can use you. But that's how, like, it's not like a lethal bit of electricity or anything. That comes later. No, he can just it's just a low-key EMP blast that takes out weaponry, phones, watches, and stuff like that. I don't know if it'll work against Master Chief yet, but we'll talk about that in a second. He also has rubber bullets in his staff, smoke pellets in his staff, and the incendiary bullets, which, like, burnt like a 9-foot-tall monster woman alive. It was pretty much an execution, but so, you know, that's gonna be pretty bad. But probably one of his biggest weapons in that particular halberd is that. Oh, I'm sorry. It has two functions. I almost forgot. The plasma blade. So, this plasma blade is ridiculous. The shit that he melts with this is insane. He specifically only uses this when he's fighting an opponent who cannot be cut by his supernatural blade already. But with that plasma blade, he is destroying, like, literal almost pooled amounts of water into steam. Now, Armsmaster is a bit stupid because, as you can tell, he has an open mouth mask. So he has to literally turn away from the steam before it, like, fries his skin. Like a fucking dumbass. But it's still impressive as hell that plasma can, like, destroy that amount of water. And it's the amount of energy and heat involved is just insane. No, like, metal would be nothing. Steel would be nothing. I cannot stress enough, like, how much heat is needed for that. And it wasn't just like a still water. It was coming at him at high speeds. So he was, like, literally jabbing that into, like, water coming in at him at, like, 300 miles per hour or something like that. Can't remember the exact speed, but at high speeds, and it vaporized it, turned it into mist, and, like, some of it still, like, hit his ankles, but, like, with that power armor, he just, like, easily handled that. The rest of it was just, like, you know, gone. And that leads to his second option, which is the Time Bird. Is what I like to call it. It's really the Time Stop Halberd. So what he can do is that he can launch out his halberd in that flail / grappling hook style, and have it what was it? Sorry, I just got an alert real quick. But yes, he can have it launch out in a grappling hook style, and, like, freeze it in time. Anything that's touching it, like water, anything solid that's touching, like water and such, it's frozen along with it. And it's an insanely deadly weapon because you can impale it. It's so strong, it goes through the body of a kaiju whose body is so dense that that if powers weren't sustaining it, it would go into a black hole. Like, it's so dense that molecules could, molecular weapons would not pierce it. Like, I'm struggling to stress how strong this is. The power that he studied to get this was stated that it would take the universe folding in half to break this power. That's how insane it is from a power standpoint. Now, it takes a hell of a lot of battery, so he only uses it like 3 or 4 times. But if he gets a hold of you and launches that thing and traps you, he can do whatever the hell he wants with you. Or God forbid you try to run, try to break it or run into it, you're done. You're skewered like a shish kebab. Sorry, let me check this alert real quick. There we go. Alright. And finally is his Nanothorn Halberd. Now, the Nanothorn Halberd is probably his greatest creation in terms of weapons. Second, probably tied up with his combat simulator. But the Nanothorn Halberd is a halberd where the blade is covered in a cloud of nanothorns, which are, well, super tiny blades that cut through molecular bonds. That's right, molecular bonds. It is insanely overpowered. Like, no one with standard durability can handle it. It cuts through superhumanly tough people. It cuts through steel. It cuts through building material. It even cuts through water. Not as well exactly, but it's still whenever it's dragged through the water, it's just oh shit, it's turning the water into different state. But yeah, so that weapon is absolutely brutal. It carves through hyperdense. You know that monster I mentioned before, the one that's super hyperdense and would collapse into a black hole if it didn't have power supporting it. This blade, this nanothorn weaponry, carved through a good 70% of the material before it hit that layer, that inner layer where the atoms just it's hard to express how cleanly it shaved off this exoskeleton of these creatures, and not even struggling until it hit the very deep, that most tough inner core of the creatures, and then it stalled out. But that's when time and space were being bent. That's the level of how much it took for this thing to stop. Hey, Sylvan. But can it cut an atom? No. I feel like if you cut an atom with it, it would probably be self-defeating at that point. Hi, gang. Nice to see you, by the way, Silva. Alright, but that's Armsmaster in a nutshell. He's not in the story very long, but that's all we usually get from him. Defiant. Defiant is the upgraded version of Armsmaster. He is mostly cybernetic, and the power armor is really more like a part of his body. Waves back. I'm waving back at you. Can't see it. I'm waving back. But yes, Defiant is Armsmaster plus 1. He's incredibly stronger than Armsmaster. for reference, let's start with a good reference here. So, in the story, there are these people called PRT troopers, or agents, depending on how you want to phrase it. These PRT agents are given body armor made of like steel and chainmail and various other items. It's not like Kevlar armor, it's like ceramic kind of material. And this material is rated to be bullet high caliber. Hang on, sorry. Let me get the right word for it, because I don't want to mess this up and get people pissed off at me again. Oh, yes. Yeah, the standard PRT issue suits are supposed to sustain gunfire. As in, like, not just like, you know how Kevlar or ceramic armor, when you get hit by gunfire, you have to replace it because it loses its sustainability over time. Like, it becomes an actual hazard. Like, if you have steel plates, the chips can actually go up and kill you. If you have Kevlar, the Kevlar can fail because of the softening of the cushions. And if you have ceramic, well, the ceramic breaks. You know, just in general, like, once you get hit once or twice, maybe 3 times, it's time to call it quits and remove the gun. Remove the armor. And this PRT armor, real quick. So, this PRT armor was then skewered by these goblin spikes that were launched at him by these goblins, basically. It's kind of self-explanatory there. And, like, the metal armor had no protection at all for the spikes. It was just immediately penetrated. And people, like, the actual PRT trooper on the ground was like, oh shit, these are stronger than bullets. Like, literal spears of bone breaking through, like, metal or ceramic, or whatever material they make the armor out of. In comes Defiant. Defiant is fighting these goblins as well, and spikes are literally bouncing off his armor like nothing. He's not in danger whatsoever from any of these spikes launching at him. They just ping, 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 done. No, not an issue. They just bounce off like like throwing a paper ball at a wall. So that's 1 feat of his armor. And the next is that... how am I going to phrase this exactly? So he's described as moving so fast that that he has to be, like, considered a part of the movers. To be a mover in the Parahumans universe, you have to have enhanced speed of some sort. And that's usually around the 30-40 miles per hour range. Sometimes around 70, but generally, movers, like, have to be impressive. Like, you can be a mover that's kind of like just like, oh, I run a little bit fast, but you wouldn't, like, be counted as a mover per se. But Defiant is seen as being a solid mover. Like, he has a jetpack thruster that allows him to, like, he weighs 600 pounds. He weighs 600 pounds, and he has thrusters and movement that allows him to move, like, up to 70 or so, I believe. So that's pretty damn good. He also has, and this jetpack and thruster is anti-gravity, which also helps. So, you know, it's a little bit of a cheat there. Speaking of, it's time to play scaling. Woo! So I mentioned the Dragon's Teeth earlier. The Dragon's Teeth are basically what Defiant builds, and they're basically Armsmaster armor. So, these guys are actually noted to be weaker versions of Defiant. They are inferior products, basically. And these guys are, like, able to handle falling off, like, 50-foot, 5-story buildings without issue. They can float down due to gravity packs. They can punch through bone that's the size of a car. They can punch through walls, metal. I'm struggling to think of what else you can do right now. Oh, they have a combat prediction system that can allow them to survive a fight with Numberman clones. And Numberman clones are so... It's going into scaling. I know everyone hates it, but we gotta get into that real quick. Numberman is the level of skill where he can run into a hail of gunfire and be unharmed. That's the level of computing and reaction that he has. And while the Dragon's Teeth weren't winning the fight, they were doing the best. Like, in a group of superhumans that were fighting these clones of Numberman, but Dragon's Teeth were holding their own and only sustaining minor damage at best. Like, the closest was being tossed off the 5-story building and landing fine. They would have still lost over time, but they were stated to be so good that they can just, they could hang in there, which is insane. That's it. That's up there with dodging, not being faster than sound, but having the perception and reaction ability to handle getting into a hail of gunfire. Not that they need to worry about that because of their armor being so durable, but that's still the whole thing. It's they're just that fast in reaction. And Defiant is better in every way. He's larger, he's stronger, he's faster. He has those thrusting packs as well. He has the combat analysis program, which, get this, allowed him to defeat an opponent who can teleport from danger. And I know you might be saying, oh, so the teleporter was just good at knowing we're dangerous. No. I mean that if you aimed a gun at him and fired that gun, the guy would teleport automatically out of danger. Defiant faced down this guy after he killed a dozen people who were firing guns at him and dodging attacks from his own allies who were accidentally shooting at him. Defiant faces this guy down, and it takes about 3 exchanges for his combat prediction program to be okay, here's how you defeat him. And he figured out that defeating him required shooting a bullet where he's going to show up, most likely going to show up, and having that bullet explode before it got to a certain distance. So, to reiterate, he fights teleporting guy. A couple hits, realizes the teleporting guy has danger sense, automatic danger detection. His computer computes the most likely area he's going to teleport to and how to best circumvent said teleportation. So when that guy teleports after a swing, Defiant shoots a bullet in that area that the computer says to, and has that bullet explode at the right point for it to kill the teleporter as he arrives. I want to stress that when he was told that oh wow, this is just seeing the future, he's no, this is just for fighting, this is just simulation and prediction. Bull fucking shit. That is absolute bull fucking shit. You kidding me? Excuse me? How does that not fucking predicting stuff? Yeah, maybe it's super good at simulations, but let me reiterate. He predicted where a guy would automatically teleport without the guy having any say-so, and also predicted how to use an explosive charge so as to not activate the danger sense before it killed him. That's fucking insane. That's insane levels of prediction and combat simulation. Alright. But yes, so his jetpack thrusters is enough to propel his 600-pound body, of course. Let's see. Strong enough to punch through bone that can be as durable as metal and stone. Already got that. He's got some fancy new tricks, of course. With his helmet on and his cybernetics, he can see blood droplets. He can see heat, infrared, thermal. Oh, I'm so dumb. I forgot to mention that Armsmaster also has sensors to detect location around him. He has it in his halberd and in his helmet, so they work together. That gives him basically a topographical map of the environment based on vibrations, which Armsmaster also has. Like, the level of camera work that Defiant has is insane. Hang on, let me pull up one from Defiant real quick. Yeah, here we go. All right. So I found one. Here you go. The blood shown ultraviolet. Particles of dust are highlighted. Yeah. The footprints and frost-like patterns where air currents had layered dust over walls and windows. Yeah, this is crazy. He had a radiograph ultrasound reading. I don't even know what the fuck that means. I assume it's sound-based at least. Yeah, you can see bodies through walls through using this. Yeah, his camera automatically updates with maps of the area. What the fuck? Yeah, he's described as moving. Again, he's described as moving faster than the eye can follow. He tore a dead bolted door from its frame just by pushing real hard. Yeah, what the fuck does radiograph ultrasound mean? What the fuck does that even mean? I mean, it just shows that he can like see bodies through cover, like through walls, under drapes and stuff. Oh wow, 7 people here. Hello, 7 people. This is probably the most I've had in a chat recently. Hope everyone's doing it right. Oh, never mind. It has gone. Yeah, this dude is broken. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is fucking insane too. Yeah, so beyond that, so I mentioned the EMP for Armsmaster's halberd earlier, but for Defiant, he can turn that EMP into fucking electricity and lightning, and like blast it out of his staff like a weapon. Like it still works as an EMP, but now it's like, oh, I can now just fucking electrocute you to death. Enjoy that. Silva, they have passed on to the Shard Space Simulator in the sky. You're right. Oh, shame. But yeah, so he can use lightning. His staff can extend to like 14 feet now. Oh yeah, so I mentioned before that Armsmaster had a nanoform halberd. Real impressive. Now, Defiant has a nanoform built into his spear that can extend to 14 feet, which is also impressive. You know what's more impressive? Armsmaster has nanothorn armor. He has little panels on his armor that open up to nanothorns, and it's just a gray like shield So if you try to hit him, you just become I don't know. It's not animatized, molecularized. You turn from you turn from human to gas. You try to shoot him, and like the bullet just turns into the gas itself, or does metal turn into gas? I don't even know. This is beyond me. It's broken as hell, though. Like, let me double check to make sure I'm not forgetting that. Oh no! Yeah, he has it built into his legs, armor, his shoulders and chest. He can literally fucking kick you into molecular dust. Oh, it's so fucking broken. But yeah, that's his powers in a nutshell. Anything else? I'm missing? No, just super strong, good reflexes, durable armor. Yeah, got that. Sorry about that rustling. It's just me holding my mic real quick. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. I was handling a message real quick. My apologies. Didn't mean for that to be so long, but I'm typing as fast as I can here. Yeah, looking at it. Just making sure that I have his outfit correct. There we go, yeah. Okay, yeah, so he's a flurry of death, of nano death. Absolutely a menace. Oh, hey, Joey. Nice to see you, Joey. Actually, question from Silva. Does Chief have Cortana with him? No, we are not bringing Cortana or Dragon into this. Because, from what I can tell, I don't want to get into vague hacking nonsense. It's so annoying. I wouldn't be able to accurately, what's the right word? Represent them both. It's for something, that'd be for a whole different, like, ball game, basically. I am not smart enough to be like, oh, wow, who can hack faster? So this is just going to be lonely men in power armor fighting each other. As God intended. as evolution intended. They can leave their wives / mother figures / problematic faves elsewhere. Alright, but okay. So, joking aside, what does it actually mean for them to fight? So I assume that they're in a fighting... would be a good battlefield, actually. They're both... it's kind of in the future, and one's in the modern day. It's kind of hard to figure out. You know what? I think we'll go for... Should I make it Blood Gulch? That'd be funny. But it'd kind of be we'll be very broad and play it by ear. Blood Gulch. No, because I don't have it up on map. I wouldn't be able to do it accurately. I'm doing this all from my iPad, so I wouldn't be able to pull up the images properly. But we'll do this in a very broad, vague sense, as I usually do. Because I'm not going to pretend to know better. But I'm just going off of vibes. This is all vibes based on what I see. Vehicles? No. This is getting out of hand. No vehicles. It's mano a mano. I'm giving Chief his assault rifle, 3 frag grenades, all of his like special equipment like bubble shields and holograms and jetpacks and hard light shields. He's already getting a lot. Alright, but so in terms of Master Chief versus Armsmaster, I think we can all obviously say that Armsmaster is at a disadvantage in terms of range. I mean, isn't one of Chief's biggest strengths the ability to man vehicles of any variety? You're not wrong, Joey. You're not wrong, but it's kind of like a little bit like if I gave Master Chief his vehicles, I'm gonna have to give Armsmaster and Defiant their vehicles, and you don't want that. You don't want that. Let me say this very, very plainly. I am being very generous to Master Chief by not allowing them the use of their vehicles, because Master Chief has access to really neat, like jeeps and some alien weaponry vehicles. Armsmaster and Defiant has access to dragon vehicles, and dragon vehicles are of the sort where her weakest mech can go like Mach 4 and is armed to the teeth with missiles, machine guns, lasers, containment foam, etc. And the one I'll just call him Colin. His real name's Colin, anyways. The one that Colin has is far beyond any of that. It's a literal. Imagine if they put a UNCS frigate in the at the size of a normal airplane. So when I say no vehicles, I'm doing this for the benefit of Master Chief. So, in terms of fighting between Master Chief and Armsmaster, starting from the top, Master Chief has the advantage in terms of range. His rifles are just superior to what Armsmaster can probably do. And, like, Armsmaster does have range options in the form of bullets, darts, incendiary rounds, and such like that. But we don't ever see him, like, use it to fight at range, because he never does do. Are we counting max support? Are we counting max support? No, we're not counting max support. This This is MC. This is just Master Chief versus Armsmaster. We're not going into anything else. Anything else and it just escalates into war. And that's a little bit outside of what we can do here. Sorry, Joey. Alright. So yes, Master Chief has the range advantage. A big one too. Because at that range, Master Chief's enhanced senses and reaction times along with his own computer are going to be super, super detrimental to Armsmaster. Armsmaster's combat simulation programs are good. He's very good. Like, it can do a pretty standard job of like handling Master Chief in a broad scale. Like, oh yeah, shooter, mechanized armor, enhanced speed and reaction. Yeah. But it still needs actual data for it to function at 100% capacity. Master Chief's suit and his own senses are already high enough that he doesn't need to compensate for that. And at a range, there's a very, very solid chance that he could shoot Armsmaster in the face in this exposed mouthpiece before Armsmaster can react and find shelter. It's very, very likely that that's how this fight goes. Assuming that Armsmaster doesn't get incredibly lucky and the shot like hits his armor and he can just escape and try to figure out a plan. Like, there's no hiding from each other because they both have sensors. But there's also like probably little to no chance that Armsmaster survives the shot to the face. It'll cripple him most likely. He's just like, I really can't imagine Master Chief missing unless I'm playing him. But without it, like, with that rifle and his assault rifle, he's just gonna kill Armsmaster. Now, assuming it's a hand-to-hand fight, that's where things get a little dicey. So I assume, like, in a hand-to-hand fight, like, there's the knife that Master Chief uses, and of course the plasma blade because it's iconic. And the plasma blade's pretty, like, I gotta clarify it. Plasma halberd is Armsmaster. Plasma blade is for Master Chief. Now, in this case, things get a little bit dicey for Master Chief. He still has the reaction and combat sim advantage, so that's good. But he still has Armsmaster who can is tough as hell, to say the least, in the terms of combat fighting. Strength-wise, Master Chief has more solid feats. Armsmaster is no pushover, considering that he can like escape out of arms that can crush a concrete barrier. But he's not as consistent because he doesn't fight as much. However, that fucking halberd is so broken as hell. It just has so many tricks to it. It has like, even if the EMT doesn't work properly on the suit, it can still probably do some damage and alert him to the energy shielding. Which, to be fair to Master Chief, that energy shielding is going to be hella broken for Armsmaster's normal strikes. Like, his normal blade's not going to cut it. And literally and figuratively. He's going to have to use his plasma blade. And his plasma blade will probably carve through Master Chief without an issue, even with the energy shield on. But also, Master Chief's probably not going to let himself be like wantonly hit by a fucking glowing blade that's melting everything in its path. He's probably going to avoid that or parry it with his own plasma weaponry, or use his bubble shield or his hard light shield or anything to make himself invulnerable for a brief moment of time. Now you might be thinking, well, why isn't Armsmaster using his nanothorns? Well, let's say he does. The thing is, the nanothorns do have some weaknesses. I didn't mention it because I want to be a surprise. But it's weak against open flame, high intense energy, and force fields. Open flames will set it afire and burn them all to dust. Or what's lower than dust? It destroys the nanothorns. We'll just go with that. According to Armsmaster, it cannot pass through energy or force field shields because it's light and energy. It's not like actual molecules or however the fuck that works. So you can see the problem here when Master Chief has energy shields, which is like literally the bane of the nanoform existence. So Armsmaster's gonna have to rely on his plasma halberd, his flail, his time grappling hook kind of thing. And the grappling hook thing could kill Master Chief if Master Chief runs into it or gets stuck on there. But the chances of that happening are not going to be likely. Not going to be likely at all. So, big issue here. Armsmaster has a ton of weaknesses. His open face, his lack of ranged options, the fact that one of his biggest weapons is useless against energy shielding, the fact that his combat simulation program needs more data to work as well compared to Master Chief's, the fact that he's strong, but he's not as consistently as strong as Master Chief, and that his biggest arsenal can be parried, deflected, or avoided by Master Chief if it comes into a close combat fight. In short, the chances, I would give Master Chief a solid 7 out of 10 in terms of fighting Armsmaster. And this is not like to say, oh, Armsmaster's weak or Armsmaster's a poorly built opponent. Armsmaster's good, is insanely strong, but he knows how to play to his strengths in the story. Like, he can adapt and he can study his opponents and he can build new tech. However, he's built for fighting capes. He's not built for fighting super soldiers per se. Like, if he's going to war, he'd probably be more prepared. But since he's just fighting as a superhero, he's at a disadvantage inherently because he's not in that same mindset. So he gets shot in the face more likely than not. And if it comes to a hand-to-hand fight, he has a better chance, but it's not a great one. Alright. Any thoughts on that? Am I off base? Any Armsmaster supporters want to come out? Whoops. I didn't know I dropped my mic. Hang on one second. From Silva. Nah, like, dude's got good equipment, but he's at a physical disadvantage that makes it hard to win at the one range he can win at. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. You got it right, Silva. That's what I'm trying to explain here, yeah. Exactly. Now, Defiant is going to be a different story. Oh, boy. This is going to be tough. Now, I gotta stress here that these two are going to be almost untouchable to each other, for the most part. At range, Defiant is not going to be at a disadvantage, because his armor is literally super full covering. His bullets will just bounce off of him. Rifle fire will bounce off of him. Explosions will bounce off of him. And at range, Master Chief's going to be fine because Armsmaster doesn't really have much range. Like, he has darts and incendiary rounds and, explosives. But they're nothing, special. And there's definitely not on the edge of, automatic cannon fire like Chief uses. Or auto cannon fire, sorry. So at range, neither side's going to have any advantage here. They can't, stealth-wise, neither's going to be an advantage. Because they can both sense each other. They can sense each other through motion sensors and whatever the fuck Defiant had that can allow him to see through walls or whatever. That ultrasound thing. What the fuck that? What the fuck is a radiographic ultrasound? It still sticks out to me. But yes, so they can't hide from each other, which they couldn't do as Armmaster and Master Chief, but at least there was a chance, you know. And for like, if I went to say like, oh, you know, maybe if I'll give Master Chief a missile, you know, launch it at him, Defiant can just shred it with his nanoflorine armor plating. So at range, it's not a question. No one's gonna win this. So that means getting into close quarters combat, which is not going to be great for either side. So, how to phrase this? Master Chief can't really hurt Defiant. His knife obviously is not going to be useful against nanoflorins. His fists and leg kicks are obviously bad idea. His plasma blade was probably going to be his best bet. And I'm betting it would actually do some damage to Defiant, because those plasma blades are fucking ridiculous. Like, they cut through metal and steel and shit. Like, they cut through... I think it's actual canonical that they cut through armor and energy shielding, too. But yes, so that's actually pretty good for in a fight. Assuming that I give it to him. Actually, I'm kind of curious what would happen if he turned on a hard light shield. You know what? It's a little bit out. It might be, maybe it worked. Hang on, I'm thinking here. Gears are grinding. So okay, there is an option where by if Master Chief times it right, he could land a punch on Defiant by immediately activating his hard light armor, but that also keeps him in place. So it's not exactly the best option. But it's a fun option to think of. But anyways. Yeah, so and in terms of Defiant, his nanoflorine weaponry, again, useless against energy shields. So it's kind of weird to have two opponents going at each other with shields that just don't work. Or weapons. So... Well, at least Master Chief won't immediately die to the nanoflorins, because like he does have energy shielding on his body, so he's like it'll activate as the moment that he's aware of it, so he'd be able to pull back his limbs before the shield drains. And but it's, even then, like he can't harm Defiant with what he has. Like Defiant is just super fucking strong and fast. But then again, so is Master Chief. Like, if we go, like, at this point, it's like, might as well asking, okay, without energy shield and without nanoflorine shields, who would win in a fist fight? And that's going to be tough, because the combat simulation Defiant has is so much better than Armsmaster's. Like, I mentioned that the Dragon Teeth, which are the weakened version of Defiant and Armsmaster, have upgraded upgraded combat simulators that allow them to fight Numbermen clones and not die, like, and hold their own for a little bit. I did not mention that they did not have any footage of the Numbermen clones. We did not know how the Numbermen fought. We did not know their tactics or style, or even what their powers were. So put that in perspective. The simulations are so good by this point that he doesn't even need to know what his opponents can do for it to accurately assess, like, movement speed, strength speed. Why did I say movement speed and strength speed? What the fuck does that even mean? Speed, movement, agility, strength, etc., etc. And we see this later when Dragon's Teeth and Defiant are fighting Scion, who, kind of big spoilers for Worm, is basically God. A Superman analog. And even though, like, his power disrupts technology every time it's used, they can still create a simulation from combat, ongoing combat, to dodge his lasers and such. Even though it ruins technology that tries to record it and any data from it. So at this point, Defiant and Master Chief are close to being competitors and peers in terms of combat simulation and what am I saying? And predictive ability. I would say that maybe Defiant even edges out just purely based on them being able to stay alive against the Numbermen clones. Excuse me. Let me get some water real quick. Hydration check. Hydration check. That's good. Now, this isn't to say, oh, Defiant wins in the stomp, or Master Chief is done for, or Master Chief can just easily win in a fight. This is where it gets a little tricky, because, alright, so Nanothorns don't work against Master Chief. Alright, what options does Defiant have besides brute strength? Assuming that it even works. Well, he also has, like I said, lightning. He can just summon like electricity from his staff. And it's like visible arcs. Now, that's not a guaranteed to kill or even seriously wound Master Chief, but his staff is super durable too. It still score through steel. It could still like carve through rock and stuff. Even without nanothorns, he can summon little helicopter blender blades from within his staff that move at high speeds too for added damage. Yeah. Let's see. Without nanothorns, the spear is still strong. Like I said, cuts through concrete, steel, etc. It also notably bends Bonesaw's internal skin, flesh meshes with organ meshes. My bad. Now, for those who don't know, Bonesaw is a biotinker, which means she's a genius for surgeries, flesh, bone, etc. And she modified herself and her teammates to have like enhanced internal protections and make them superhuman, basically. And in their team's case, their weakened versions allow them to like Jack Slash, who is like Bonesaw's mentor figure slash father figure slash fucked up parent kind of figure, had sheaves around his spine and organs. He got shot in the spine by a bullet, and the bullet bounced off. Like, it still hurt him. Like he complained that it hurt like a bitch, but like it didn't like cripple him at all. And when Defiant swiped Bonesaw and cut her nearly in half with his spear, it's noted that even with her her better upgraded version of the spine, it still damaged the mesh beneath it. It just couldn't cut through it. So that's pretty impressive, I'd have to say. Like, I think that if he got past the energy shielding and into the armor, it would score some deep cuts into the armor of Master Chief. Not to like a fatal extent, unless he covered like the bits that are, vulnerable, like the neck and such. But it would be pretty damaging, all told. Now, sorry, what was I saying? Now, what does Master Chief can do? So, not much. Like, assuming I give him the plasma blade, yeah. In that case, it would be very even footing with Defiant in that regard. Hand to hand, without it, he's kind of screwed over. Like I said, the shielding around him means that he won't immediately lose limbs and stuff to the nanoform blades, but he'd still it'd still wear down his shielding over time, and he can't afford to do that when Defiant is also like swiping at him with his own blades and predictive algorithms and explosives, and by this point these two are like peers in terms of strength. Reflexes, I think, still go to Master Chief. But then it comes back. It all comes down to the combat simulation program and the predictive programs. That's a sticker for me. That's good. Got some more water. Yeah. So, damn, I'm not sure where to go with this because maybe I just go plot armor and say Master Chief wins. He wins because he's Master Chief. That's all I have to say. No, I'm gonna pull Death Battles. I don't know if anyone here remembers Death Battles. The second Superman versus Goku fight, where it's like, oh, why are we even? They just basically talk down their audience, be like, oh, Superman's never gonna lose. It's like he wins because he's Superman, and it's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to pull Death Battles. But I think Master Chief just has a lot of tools, and like, but a lot of Master Chief's equipment isn't going to help him here. Like the bubble shield can just be walked into. So it's only like a very weak form of defense. The hard light shield does like lock the armor, so that's not good. The hologram is not going to fool. It's not going to fool Defiant. He has ways of sensing like physical versus holograms and stuff like that. Jetpack. I mean, that's what Defiant has too. He has thrusters, not a jetpack per se, but he has a gravity pack. I honestly do not know about this. Like maybe if I gave, I didn't. It's so funny how Armsmaster versus Master Chief was so easy, but these two literally are canceling each other out. And it's kind of ridiculous how much they cancel each other out. Man. There's not much electricity feats for Master Chief. I'm looking. But this is tough, alright? I didn't expect it to be literally like me going, is this a draw? What do we think, chat? Is this a draw? Huh? I'm trying to figure out Like, alright, let's say in fair. From Sylvia. In fairness, Superman is now some sort of multiverse warping archetypal super being who exists at the same level as literal gods now. Yeah, fucking comics. Fucking comics, always. Didn't they do that with Batman too? Like, or the Joker, or before they retconned it? I don't know. They did the same thing with Spider-Man too. Like, oh, there's always gonna be a Spider-Man. You're part of the pillars of Spider Folk, like the Spider Totem. Ooh. Yes, they did. Thank you for confirmation, Silva. Can't wait for Master Chief to become the embodiment of all super soldiers in sci-fi. In both cases, yes. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm at a loss here. I don't know what to do about Master Chief versus Defiant. Like, do I go for stamina? Because they're both superhumanly, like, endurance. Like, Defiant only needs 15 minutes of sleep per day. And he has, like barely any human organs anymore. He has literal circuitry made out of hard light. How did that even work? Circuitry made of hard light? That's like saying I have a fishing line made of paper. But it works. And it's super efficient. And it's super durable. And I'm talking like a madman. I'm going crazy. Trying to figure out how to judge him. Master Chief can run like days, I guess. He's like even with the torn Achilles tendon, like he doesn't get tired as much. We don't know how he does need to sleep though. Sounds like Forerunner tech. Yeah, I mean Tinkers are basically Forerunners in a sense, and like Forerunners mixed with Orcs from 40K. Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. They're both hyper durable, hyper endurance, hyper broken as fuck. Since a lot of their tech is just hard light pretending to be metal. Yeah, sorry. If this was a Forerunner versus Defiant fight, it'd be a lot simpler because Forerunners would just smoke them. But Master Chief, I don't know. Okay, alright. Let's simplify this down. Alright? We're gonna dumb this down for me. No energy shields, no nanoform shields, no weapons. Just mano a mano fisticuffs and kicks. Who wins in that scenario? It's super dumbed down caveman style. Who's winning that? Fuck, this is actually harder than I thought. Alright. So scaling. So if we do go by scaling, Defiant scales above Armsmaster and scales above the Dragon's Teeth. Armsmaster is able to escape out of giant metal hands that can rip out those concrete barriers that are meant to block cars and parking lots and stuff. He scales above the Dragon's Teeth that can punch through metal, concrete, and bones that are hyper durable, like the size of a car. He's durable enough that he can tank spears launched out that can penetrate through steel or ceramic or whatever the fuck the PRT armor is. That's rated higher than bullets. He can survive it. He scales above falling like 5 stories off a building and recovering. Am I forgetting anything? He's strong enough that he can swipe his spear through concrete and stuff. He's got enough strength that he can help lift himself up. He's got several redundancies. His body's not even human. He doesn't feel pain. Master Chief scales to all other Spartans, mostly except for like freaks of nature like George, who are like already strong for Spartans. And Master Chief is like already punch concrete, stuff like that, bend metal. Oh yeah, and Defiant does that too. They're literally 1 for 1 here. What the fuck? His armor's tough. I guess his armor is tough enough to deflect bullets, except not against high caliber bullets. But we don't see Defiant deal with high caliber bullets except for the spears. Also, even if the Spartan is injured, like his armor is self-repairing and self-healing with the biofoam. And his body's superhuman and redundant as well. He does feel pain, but the pain is like, for a Spartan, is manageable. If I had to go down to the nitty-gritty, I'd say that Master Chief has a lot of exposed elements in his armor, and that he's mostly flesh and blood. Whereas Defiant is mostly all metal, and he barely has any human organs left. Doesn't really feel any pain. That's like the very nitty gritty sort of weakness. Like that's nitpicking sort of weakness. Like that's like, well, technically, Master Chief has exposed elements in his flesh and blood, whereas Defiant is glory to Mechanicus. He's seen the weakness of flesh and left it behind. I'm sorry. I missed your comment, Silva. I'm sorry. Hang on, let me see it. It depends on the circumstances of a fight and who screws up first. But probably Defiant because this body is probably more redundant. Probably. I know book Spartans get silly. Yes, they do. That's actually a pretty honest and fair assessment, Silva. I agree. I think if I had to get super nitpicky about it, I'd say Defiant has more advantages here. Super narrow narrow advantages, but advantages nonetheless. This was not clear cut at all. I feel so bad for people going through this. Like, make a fucking decision already here, Tom. What are you gonna say? All right, I'd say 6 out of 10 Defiant wins against Master Chief. Assuming just no external factors influencing the fight. Assuming it is just pure, like, hand-to-hand and no weapons that are, like, overcomplicate things. Because their defenses practically eliminate all sorts of advantages that their weapons have. If it just came down to fisticuffs, then I think Defiant would pull out a victory. This is not me being like a Worm fan or a Ward's fan or like prioritizing one. I gave Master Chief a solid win to Armsmaster, and Defiant edges out a victory here because I cannot see the same weaknesses that Master Chief would have. So yeah, final verdict: Master Chief versus Armsmaster, 5 out of 10. I mean, sorry, no, blah, what am I saying? Master Chief versus Armsmaster, 7 out of 10. Master Chief versus Defiant, 6 out of 10 in favor of Defiant. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think that's probably going to be what it is. And I know what you're saying. What about, to reiterate, no vehicles, because then I'd have to give Defiant his fucking dragon mecha, and you do not want to give him his ship. His ship is broken as hell. You do not want him to have that. That is a broken fight in favor of Defiant. Master Chief would be smoked. And no katana and no dragon, because those two are both elite hacking skills, and I'm not smart enough to handle that. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not smart enough to handle elite hacking skill feats. Oh boy. Alright. So, my next one I'm considering is either going to be Vista versus, what was it, Misaka from that anime, Railgun, from that Railgun show, or from, or a Space Marine versus the Chicago Wards. Which, both of those sound like headache inducers. But the big finale is going to be the entities in the Warhammer 40k universe. So that's the tentative plan for the next debates. But in the meantime, if you guys want to just have any thoughts on this fight so far or any suggestions for the future, I'm open ears. I'm all ears right now. I got a few minutes. John does scale to another Spartan flipping a 42.3 ton tank. Yeah, but that's not really consistent in terms of what Spartans do on the level. Because then it gets into weird, like, I'm reminded of someone who's like, oh, Spartans can lift 60 tons by themselves. And then you look at the actual feat that happened, and it's like, it gives no description as to what they were lifting, how much it weighed, or how big it was, and it actually requires several people help over a long period of time, etc., etc. Like, I wouldn't doubt that feat exists for another Spartan flipping that tank somehow. I just don't think it's consistent. I don't think it's like if Defiant randomly mentioned that, oh yeah, I can lift a 100-meter block of stone, I'd be like, what the fuck? That's never come up before. You never show that before. I'd be very I'd question it a little bit. I don't know why my eyes are closed like this. There you go. There he goes again. It's because I'm smiling. It's messed up. But yeah, it's a flimsy one. Yeah, I mean, I'm no stranger to high ends and stuff. I've been in the versus debating community since I started Space Battle, so I know. And for those who don't know, Space Battles is a versus debating community, sci-fi community, writing community, blah, 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 blah. It's just a bunch of nerds hanging out. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this has been a tough one. I don't feel strongly about Defiant versus Master Chief, but I'm also not able to see a way for Master Chief to consistently pull out a win here. How about you, Silva? Do you have any ideas for any future fights, or do you have any commentary on this fight at the moment? Any potential what ifs you'd like to have explored that I missed? A funny one would have been like Armsmaster and Defiant playing through the Halo games as themselves. I think from Silva. I think John needed to have 5 base string. Oh yeah, we all covered this. Yeah, yeah. I covered this in the very beginning. I mentioned that if I was being like lowballing, like he'd probably have like two and a half ton. I'm sorry. He'd probably have like enough a 2-ton weight, but it's probably a 3-tonner most likely, or most consistently. As for the next one, what's your idea, Silva? Hit me with it. Hit me with your idea. I'm all ears. Also, I got 5 people. You just missed the end of the debate. we covered a lot. For the 5 people who showed up, Master Chief beats Armsmaster 7 out of 10 times. Defiant beats Master Chief 6 out of 10 times. And let me tell you, when I say that 6 out of 10 was rough, and it was a lot of back and forth. So don't go thinking I'm playing favorites here, all right? From Silva. I think the Misaka one can work, but just prepare for some weird esoteric BS to creep in on the edge. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Before I dropped the series because it was boring as fuck. I didn't like Toma. I didn't like his. I thought he was very, very bland, and honestly, I by the time I was in high school, I was already finding I think when I was in high school, Kill la Kill was coming out, and I was already finding like why is the anime having so many young girls looking like that? Like, maybe focus more on adults like doing this shit. But yeah, even then, but yeah, I still remember highlights from watching like AMVs and stuff of Misaka, and I've seen people debate her and versus debate. I know that the Tuaru universe gets really broken. I know that like in terms like universe busting stuff. I'm very aware of that. Like Raildex escalates as a series really fast. Yes, Toma works best in Railgun Venezone. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Raildex does escalate fast. But Vista versus Misaka, I mean, these fights aren't about fairness, they're about entertainment. Like, they're like thinking like, oh, this would be interesting. Like, so this will be, and I do think Vista versus Misaka would be interesting because like Vista's power fits into Tuaru really well. Like if you think about it, like not like all powers technically in Worm and Ward fit really well in with the Tuaru universe, but like Vistas especially feels like it would belong there. It's like it's just that right amount of broken and limited that it feels natural, But yeah, so that's for. I think I'll do Vista versus Misaka next, and then I'll do maybe Space Marines versus Chicago Wards. I don't know who else to do. Maybe I feel like entities versus in the Warhammer 40k would be a bit much after the Space Marines, so maybe I'll do something instead. in fairness, almost anything it can fit in there, given the Kabbalah BS it operates on. Yeah, I know that it has some. It's also a universe where magic and whatever the fuck Toma does, and also whatever the fuck shonen stuff that one guy does. Or yeah, I know it's a stupid series, but it's kind of like in many ways it's very much like Marvel and DC in how stupid it can get. But I mean, you know what? That's part of the charm of it, I guess. Space Marine is going to be painful. So many BS feats and anti-feats. I'm already expecting that. I'm already like looking up stuff like Ultramarine stuff like that. And I don't know if I'll commit to Chicago Wards being their opponents, because I don't know. I'm trying to think of like who would be a good opponent for Space Marine in Ward, Worm, Pact, Pale. Maybe I could do maybe make it Anthem Ted instead. But I feel like I've done Muster and stuff already. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. And there's no good art of Anthem Ted, so I don't know if that'll fit perfectly either. Anthem Ted, though, would be pretty fun. Just DACA. Oh, yes, I'm aware of a Space Marine dying from a completely normal person. Supposedly, at least. That's the wooden spear one, right? Because wasn't that a cover-up? I'm pretty sure that was a cover-up. Like, he didn't actually die from the spear. They murdered him for some reason. I can't remember. I do know that there are examples of completely unenhanced humans just beating a Space Marine in spars, which is kind of stupid. Like, I can get it if they try to go the route of like, oh, you know, every human is latently psychic, and that allows them to boost their abilities to an extent, which would make more sense than just, you know, oh, you can be super skilled and blah 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 blah. Like, come on, guys, like, just at that point you're just getting into anime territory of like, or fucking Batman territory of like, you know, anyone can be superhuman if they do enough push-ups. I can't remember either, but I will hold it over the stands regardless. That's fair. There was a bit of a time where Space Marines were winked to high heaven in the fandom. I think now there's a lot more pushback against it. I think more people want more Eldar and Tau stuff. I think they just want more variety, really. But that's getting into the fandom in general. But yeah, okay, so tentative plans are Misaka versus Vista, and then going from there, either the Chicago Wards or Anthem Ted versus Space Marine. We shall see. We'll see. I think the Chicago Wards have more to work with, and the Ultramarine maybe has too much to work with. Nasuverse, where breaking trees and running faster than a car is completely normal, mundane human stats. I may never touch the Nasuverse. I enjoyed Tsukihime, the manga. I liked that. That was it. That's as much as I enjoyed of it. I'm never going to touch it, because every time I hear about it, it's just nonsense. It's just literal garbage words coming in my ear. If I do Nasuverse, it'd have to be a huge special. I'd have to have, like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 or 10,000 subscriber special. And it'd just be me vomiting over and stumbling over the facts and misrepresenting Nasuverse terribly. And that's not me hating on it. It'd just be me. I'd do it as fairly as possible. I would just fail at it. Tsukihime manga is nice. It is nice. It makes me want to reread it. And just ignore everything else. Alright. So I think that'll be it for this stream. This was a good stream. I enjoyed it a lot. This has been a topic that I've been thinking about for a lot. Before I do the next stream, I'm probably going to edit down the Abraham Muster. Actually, you know what? Technically, I could edit those into 2 parts. So that's not... Or into 1 part. So that's not... It's not a huge concern. So I think, you know what? I'll do one stream with Vista and Misaka, and then I'll take a break to edit the videos. Cause when I edit the videos, I'll polish it and give it that nice sultry Jesse voice. Because I don't like hearing my own voice, so I like to add that little feminine voice atop of it. But I'm agender, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't need to subscribe to these weak chains of gender of gender coordination or whatever the fuck the word is. You can't control me. Someday I'll get you to read the Melty Blood mangas. The silliness is actually intended. It works better for it. Also, because gay vampires are nice. You know what? Gay vampires are nice. You're right. They are nice. All right. That's it for this stream, everybody. Thank you very much for Who Would Win number 5. Master Chief defeated Armsmaster, but Defiant scooped back victory from the claws of defeat and defeated Master Chief. Thank you again, everyone. This has been Rid Tom, Victoria Downs' #1 fan, signing off. Have a great day. Take care. Love yourself. And I'll see you next time. Peace.